Hi, I'm Travis Walter, Artistic Director of Meadow Brook Theatre. Let's take a tour of the theater. Come on inside. Behind me, you'll see our stage. This is where we perform all of our 7 shows every year, all season long. It's a different set for every single show. Currently, we are putting up the set for The Unavoidable Disappearance of Tom Dern by Stephen Levinson. It's a fantastic show with a lot of different small vignettes, so there's a bunch of different stages. We have a turntable that turns around, we have a classroom, we have a stark little house, and it's a really, really fun show. Here we are on stage, a unique perspective that most people don't get. This is the audience out here, 584 seats. They're all stadium-style seats, so that there is not a bad seat in the house. Students do get $11 tickets the day of the show, so come see us, fill up this place. It's a really fun time here at the theater. Let's go backstage. Hi guys, now we're backstage. This is a view that most people don't get to see. It is very dark back here because we don't want ambient light shining on the audience during the show. We also have blue lights backstage down here on the floor so that the actors can see backstage because the lighting is so low. If you continue back here, you'll notice there's carpet on the floor behind me here. This carpeting is so that you don't hear the actors backstage. Also back here you see the ropes. Those are all connected to the rigging that holds our line sets and our electrical units where we hang lights for the shows. As we continue back here, you're going to see pickers. This is how we get up to the lights and the line sets as well if we need to get up in the air for any reason. We also have a lot of our props for the current show stored back here, like this really ugly, what we call our college futon. These props will eventually, once we're not doing the show, will eventually go into the buildings out by the organic farm across the campus. Here we are at the stage manager's booth. This is where the stage manager sits and calls every single cue for the show. Nothing happens without the stage manager saying the word go. He looks through this window right here at the set, but he can't see all of the set, so he has to use 2 different monitors. We have a video monitor that shoots the whole stage from the back of the audience, and we also have an infrared camera so that he can see in the dark, because we do use turntables frequently and sometimes things can get dangerous in the dark, so he makes sure that he can see everything before he calls the next cue. Behind us here we have extra storage for curtains that we use throughout the year. We also have extra tools and things, but what's really cool is this one-car garage. Most people, when they think of a large theater, they think of a giant loading dock. We don't have one of those. We have a one-car garage. All of the sets get built on the other side of campus in Varner Hall, and then they get broken down, put into a truck, and come through this one-car garage, and then get put back up on our stage, which is pretty impressive when you think about a show like Christmas Carol, that the main unit of the house is 6,000 pounds. Next to it, we have the actors trailer. This is where the actors get ready for the show and wait for their cues. They can hear everything the stage manager is calling and everything that's happening on stage through the monitors that are throughout the trailer itself. We do have 6 rooms that can house 2 actors each, and we also have 2 restrooms in this trailer. It's just an added-on trailer that was added on about 30 years ago. Most people don't get to come in here, so this is pretty cool. Now let's go check out one of our coolest places, the costume shop. And here we are in the costume shop. This is a very remote area because it's actually under the audience of the theater. If you look up, you will see the staggered levels in the ceiling. That's actually where people are sitting during the show. Here's where we store all of our costumes that we make. I'm gonna take you into the actual stock room and show you all of the really cool costumes that are in there. Come on, take a look. Here we are in the costume stock area. It's just 2 rows, but it does go all the way up to the ceiling. This whole half is our Christmas Carol stock. These are the costumes that we use in a Christmas Carol every single year. We've been doing Christmas Carol for many, many years. We have to keep these stored in a nice temperature-controlled climate, so they stay in here all year round. Everything else you see is sorted by gender and by the time period that we can use them in. It's a pretty amazing stock that we have here. And in this area of the costume shop, you see that there's lots of storage here. We've got all different kinds of outfits. We've got accessories, pearls, beads, jewelry. We have our shoe racks, which are all sorted by men's versus women's and different sizes. We have all the different fabrics that we use for different shows. As they come in, they all get sorted by color and style. We also have wigs, lots of wigs here in the costume shop. We also take donations. We have donations on our table right here. Lots of wonderful people from the community donate to the theater because we are a nonprofit organization. And usually what happens is sometimes the costumes will get put up just the way they are and they'll get to see them in a show, or sometimes they'll get turned into something even more spectacular. Now let's go see where we actually make the costumes. And here we are in the construction side of our costume shop. This is where we make everything, all of the costumes for all of the 7 shows that we do all season long. We do all the cutting, the draping, the sewing, the dyeing of the fabrics if that needs be. Here in the shop today we have working 4 people. We have Mary and Liz and Maureen back there working on a bellhop hat for the next show, and we have Heidi. And these 4 people put together every single costume for every show that we do here at the theater. They get renderings and designs from designers, and they have to take those images and turn them into fully realized costumes. That's their job, that's what they do down here, and they're amazing at it. And here we are in our fitting room downstairs. This is where the actors all get fitted for their measurements and try on different outfits and costumes for each of the shows. We only have 1 fitting room, so we only ever do 1 fitting at a time. But our staff does an amazing job at getting everybody through so that everything gets done and prepared the way it's supposed to be when you see it on the stage. Now let's go under the stage and show you what's actually under the actual stage. So here we are, we're actually under the stage now. Most people never get to see this. This is our prop storage for hand props, small props that we use throughout the season that don't end up going into the furniture storage area out by the organic farm across the campus. So we've got all sorts of little things, candles and end iron. We have games down here. We also have books. A lot of times we have a lot of trickery going on. So the books a lot of times are just bindings that have foam inside them, especially if these are over an actor's head, just in case something falls, no one's gonna actually get hurt. It's a very safe way to do things, and it's a good way to trick the audience. So this is where we store our hand props. The last stops on our tour is the rehearsal room, where we actually rehearse all of the shows. Let's go on up and take a look. And here we are, we have arrived at the rehearsal room. This is where we rehearse all of the shows for our season. This is where we actually rehearse for 3 weeks before we put a show on our stage. It's much smaller than the actual stage. There's a lot of restaging and spacing that has to happen because the room is smaller. We do tape out things on the floor for the actors so that they know where steps and platforms and things are. If you look over here, this is the model of the set that's up right now on the stage, so you can see that everything gets shrunk down to 1/4 inch, and then we can show the actors, you know, what this line on the floor means. Thanks for coming on the tour here at Meadow Brook Theatre. We have wonderfully, professionally produced plays right here on the campus of Oakland University. We hope to see you at the theater soon. I got to go back to work, but I'll see you at the show.